Yes, I am hearing you loud and clear.
Great, great. Thank you for having me in your platform. Actually, you have done tremendously and you have dealt with the issue. We just about stress on what you have been saying, to emphasize what you have been saying. And I'm so grateful to be part of this platform just to say what actually transpired because the history cannot be buried. And it's all geared to what the president was saying just at his last press conference, beating his chest, saying that definitely where were we, the Gambians, when we were in the struggle. But what he failed to understand is that the struggle didn't start when he became a president. The struggle started way back before
That's
even
right.
we think of Adam Barrow, and he have to understand that what he is enjoying today is because of the efforts of other people. That's why he is definitely enjoying this. Uh, it started from when the Gambia constitution was even suspended and we were ruled by degrees. And people stood and fight, to bring the Gambia into a constitutional rule. And bringing Gambia to the constitutional rule that gave birth to political parties to emerge. So the struggle doesn't start when Adama Barrow was a president. So he should know that there are people who start forcing the coup makers to go back to the constitutional rule. And the constitutional rule gives the power to the Gambian people, whoever feel like you have the means to create a political party. So the struggle doesn't start. If that was not the
Yes.
struggle, then we will not have the political party that is claiming he was there because UDP emerged after when people have fought to bring back the Gambia into the constitutional rule. And that constitutional rule gives the power for any other Gambian to create a political party if you wish. So that means that because of the efforts of other political parties, which everybody knows who are those political parties. It's not necessary for me to tell you who are those, but we know who are the people who were pushing the coup makers to come back to the constitutional rule. And just to definitely push more on Adam Barrow, at least to put the record straight for him to understand that actually he was claiming that during the coalition, he was the one who spent the most of the money that was spent in the coalition. I will say that no, because I could fully remember when we were on the coalition tour, we had to stop at Jarasoma because the coalition lacked the vehicle that will lacked the fuel that will continue the campaign of the coalition. So actually, there was no other funds. We contacted Fatmata Tambajang. We contacted Alaji S. Dabo of Brikama, who is now the National Assembly member for Brikama. I'm on live. They said there is no money. So people have to come with ideas, and this was through the PDOIS. Idi Jallo was the one who is in facilitated, who is the admin secretary of PDOIS, to see how best we can have this fuel, and it was through Mohamed Jah, who is Jah Oil. He can attest. We pledged to the man, and he understand, and he give us 1 million worth of credit on fuel, where we fuel all the vehicles to continue the campaign, because we look at the risk that is there. If the coalition has to stop at Jarasoma because of what is the problem, there's no fuel, then that means that the coalition is free and Jammeh will stay in power. So whatever mean we can do, we will do that to make sure that the fuel is available, and that was through the efforts of PDOIS. And when we pay the half of the money when we arrive at Combo, but at the other Raider town, the man said that the other 500,000 is his contribution towards the coalition. So he has to give that money to the coalition. So we were able to pay the half of the other million, that's the 500,000. So the coalition continued. But Adam Barrow too should understand that the Kairaba beach, when we were trying to form the coalition, who are the people who pay?
Hey, Kexx,
Yeah,
1 second.
yeah.
Just can you flip your camera because the people cannot see you. So your camera is
How
flip
about this?
it. No, you no, it's still on the wrong way. We have to.
How about this?
Are you using a mobile phone?
Yeah.
No,
How about this?
no, flip it, flip it. You have to turn it. Yeah, now here you go.
Uh,
There you gotta push it this way. You gotta turn it this way. Here you go. Turn it. Push the camera. We can't see you. We only see in the roof.
okay.
Here you go. Right
You see.
now. Yeah.
Okay. To make it clear, so Barrow should understand too that actually when we are trying to build this coalition, we met at somewhere else, and that is a hotel which is not the property of the coalition. But what transpired there until we have the Kairaba beach where we had all our process and everything that we do to build this coalition, when they were very busy, trying to form their political party, that is United Democratic Party, because people were at Kairaba on the negotiation table, and they believe that definitely with UDP they could win this country. So they decided to go on a caravan tour, trying to look at their strength and their weakness, whether they can definitely take over this country. But after testing, because they know that definitely PDY has already done the groundwork, we went and meet with the people and tell them that Gambia is at a crossroad right now. And the only thing that we need now to remove this system here is only to unite. But if we divide, we are not going to remove Jammeh here. And people are now, the country is heading to a war because the APRC political party, a political bureau was born. And the people were ready, the president and his entourage were ready for a revenge. And the soldiers too are ready who did that one. Definitely they will too also stand and defend their fellow soldiers. So the country was more of heading to a civil war than what we are anticipating. And you look at people, are desperate because of the president has been insulting the other tribes. So there were so many issues, factors there. So PDOIs made these studies and they realized that definitely the only way we can do is to bring the people together. And they told the whole country, even before we talk about the coalition. And when they told the country, they sensitized the Gambian people to tell them that definitely whoever comes before you, tell them that we are trying to build a coalition. And if you fail to join that team, definitely we are not going to listen to you. And this message was conceived by the Gambian people, and they made to understand, and they believe that this is the only way that can bring the change. And they all accepted. And that's why when UDP were touring, while we were busy at Kairaba trying to build the political party, the coalition, they were touring the country because, and they don't know how much was paid there. And still now, their agreement was after the coalition, they will see how much was put in Kairaba and they will bring their contribution. But as I'm talking to you today, none of those coalition members pay back what PDO has paid to the Kairaba Beach Hotel for them to have the convention there. But history will tell definitely what actually transfers. So if today Barrow is standing and actually beating his chest and telling people that he have contributed a lot, I will tell Barrow that definitely you have never contributed. Because I could fully remember the 3 days before the coalition campaign ended, there was no food. The coalition food was completely finished because we spent $80,000 every day for just food. But the 3 days prior to the end of the coalition, we were informed that there's no single Budu that is left for the coalition to continue on its campaign. So the strategy has to come up again through PDOIs to make sure that we generate that fund. And that funds came through the Foraya. They went to Foraya and make sure that they withdraw their money from Foraya to make sure that they provide those 3 days for the lunch to be provided by the coalition supporters so that we can continue the campaign. These are histories that are not told because the party is not a party that shows us what they do. They believe that whatever they are doing it for the country and it's their responsibility to do it. So that's why you will never hear it from them. And they don't want me to do this because I promised to come live, but I was called first thing in the morning today. They told me that definitely let me not respond to Barrow. That's why I didn't come live, but I feel it necessary to come to your platform to share some of these things because if lies continue to repeat itself, scientifically it tends to change to be a fact. So one has to counter some of those accusations or untold stories so that actually let them not change. So these are issues. That's why we are countering it. And I can fully remember the second to last day of the campaign, we were going to Banjul for our second to last day campaign. We had an accident on the highway. Just immediately after the mile 2, there were 13 people that were involved in this accident. They were all admitted at RVTH, Banjul Hospital. I was there as the coalition member to sleep before those people on a dry hospital, on a dry bench, on a dry floor. But I do this because of the love I have for the country, and I believe that. But ask them who among the coalition members were even sending me a single budget for those people their needs when they need medicine, because medicines were not available at the hospital. They will just prescribe it to us, and I have to go to the pharmacy to buy it. Where those that money was coming, and I called both of them. I called OJ, I called Farm, I called Aissatou Toure, because by then I was having all their contact numbers. But nobody responded to me except Khalifa Sallah. Hasto came and come with a money, and he said I definitely put this thing on their medical bills when I called, and they came. And I was there every day since that day. Every day he is coming there or sending Idi Jallo to come at least bring me $2,000 every day. And we spent 13 good days at that hospital. None of them cares. And upon releasing those people, Khalifa has to give me each out of the 13 people, each $5,000, either from PDOIs, I don't know, but he gave it to me personally through Edu to go and meet those people. And I pay a taxi, taking each and everybody to your family compound. Others are in Brikama, Jambanjila, and the other places. I took each and every person to their house. From there, then he gave me this to say, let me just make sure that I distribute this to them. So these are issues that you have to understand, and people have to get this into facts, to understand that actually what are actually trying. Yeah. But if we are not dealing
let me jump.
Okay.
Let me jump in here. The first platform.
Yeah.
The first platform, a gentleman that I played.
Yeah.
Because people believe that PDOIs have to change the strategy.
Yeah.
A lot of people believe in PDOIs because many people knows that PDOIs have done a lot for Gambia. But what is missing is the strategy. What is the strategy? I don't understand what they mean by PDOIs have to change the strategy.
Yeah.
Because what you are saying, that information is not available to some people. So what can we do in the future to send a message to the people? I know people, a lot of people, is convincing the people how to vote for you. So what I do believe in PDOIs. I've been following. I remember the first time I met Halifa Sallah was in Serekunda, 1991. 1991. That was the first time I saw Halifa Sallah. So I have followed PPP. I have followed Sirif Diba, and I never have supported any political party in Gambia till recently, in 2016. And looking at the political space, PDOIS, Halifa Sallah is second to none. And this information that you are telling us, and I think in the future, whatever it is, we have to come out, PDOIS have to come out and spell out what happened during the coalition, as you have said. Because the president have drawn the line and said that they're the one that spend. And what you are saying is different. And many of us know who spend the money. So what is your take on that?
Actually, what I will appeal to the Gambian people, yes, it is people has to know the truth, because there are so many defamative messages that are coming. People want to distort the history. But if you put the cart before the horse, like you might miss. Actually, we are working on a book which you all know which is called The Impasse, what transpired from the formation of the coalition up to the ending of the coalition. So let us not just put the cart before the horse. Let them just talk, and we leave them to take the credit that they didn't deserve until we have that book. That book will tell you the facts, which you know that definitely are from opinions of the Gambian people that are high position during the formation of the coalition. You talk of the Red Cross were in the part of the building of the coalition. You look at the former CDS, and so many people were involved, and you can hear their voices. They definitely know what actually transpired. The former CDS, so many people that were now in the government position, even the former speakers will know actually what has transpired during the building of the coalition and who sacrificed themselves and what has done. So I will just appeal to anybody who sympathizes with PDOIs and you support PDOIs. Let us not put the cart before the horse. No matter how it is, let us just give them to take the credit they don't deserve until the book is published, and when it's out, and it will be available for each and every Gambian to know that actually this is the true history, what transpired when we are trying to build the coalition, and until we have the peace that we have. PDOIs has achieved what we want, and we, the members of PDOIs, should know that definitely PDOIs achieved what we want. The Gambian people demanded for a change, and PDOIs has stood and make sure that we bring this change to you. The change is to remove Yahya Jammeh here. When we were campaigning, people were saying, even you bring a dog, we want it, and we remove our SAT, we remove our SUS, and make sure that whatever you, the Gambian people, want, you want President Jammeh to leave, and we make sure that we give you a president. This is what you asked for, and we have paid it, and this credit is PDOIs credit, but we are not people who want to just show out. But definitely this is what the Gambian people demand from us, and we have given. The next phase of the election is now to elect a leader, because Barrow was there mainly just to have a regime change whereby we'll have institutional reform, constitutional reform, electoral reform, at least to give us the foundation whereby any president that comes after him will find out that the foundations are there and everything is there. But the next phase of election is an election whereby a leader will come before you with his programs and his policies, and based on his programs and his policies, that's where you will gonna vote him. And that is the time the Gambian people will know whether definitely they are ready for a Gambia whereby they will live in dignity, prosperity, and progress, or they just want to continue living in from hand to mouth. That would be the time, because no president should come after this transition without a program and you vote it. When you do that, the problem is now not the person who is leading us, but now we have to ask ourselves, we the Gambian, the problem is ours. So now the next phase of is the system change, whereby you will have a total system change. But now we have a transitional government, and our stand has PDOIs. We are ready to support the transitional process until the latter part, because this is the promise we gave to the Gambian people. We are not here to show out ourselves. If it is left to us, there will be nothing like you had of PDOIs or you had of other political, but we will also support the coalition agenda until this 3 years is finished. Then from the 3 years, we will have a new year whereby all Gambians will be conscious. They will know that definitely to put a leader there is not to put an individual into the office, but you are putting somebody there who will promote your general welfare. Because that's what the Constitution says, Chapter 1. Whoever is taking the authority of this country is doing it on your name, on your behalf, and on your welfare. And any government that is not fit to promote your general welfare is not fit to govern. But now let us just look at how the situations are going. There are certain issues that are coming here. Are they the priority? Just look at the Commission of Inquiry. Just when you check off, somebody is there, has a council. When you have thousands of council at the Ministry of Justice, he's paid $500,000 every month. Is this the priority when you could have give somebody who you will just give him his basic salary? So these are issues that we have to look at it. You look at the 10 and 9 and 10, the 9 NIS cases in Banjul here. When we have the government is taking private lawyers to run that case, and each lawyer is paid $1 million. They are 5-6 in number when you have government lawyers that can stand for the country.
All right. 1 second. Let me jump in that. You brought in a very good subject matter. And you're talking about the council receiving $500,000 salary. Yeah. So when we talk about Dalasis in Gambia, the people tend not to understand it very much. I don't know whether they don't value Dalasis. You are talking Bensouda is receiving $11,000 salary a month.
Yeah.
And you are talking about lawyers, private lawyers who are hired on this government's case, the NIA9 or whatever they call them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So they are on a salary of $1 million.
Each. You have Antumana Bige, you have Richard Mendy, you have Lamin Eskamara, you have Yasin Senghor, and you have Kumba Gay. You have Richard Mendy, sorry. Richard Y. Mendy. These are the 9 people. They are private. They are private. They are not state lawyers.
So what now? Now that is why we're talking about system change. We have government lawyers. That is why we have the Ministry of Justice. The Ministry of Justice, we have lawyers over there who's supposed to take charge of this government case.
Yeah.
Why hire a private lawyers to represent the government? So for me, that is right there an issue by itself. So is it really constitutional in the country or what? Or do we need to address that issue to question whether that is constitutional, or there is a better way of saving the country money? Because you are looking now, they are spending $6 million on private lawyer to address this case.
Yeah, different from their food, their transportation. You look at maybe that is just maybe the basic. But look at it. You say that definitely this country was when you were inherited. You just inherited a payment of only 1 month payment of salaries, and the other day the government was bankrupt, and you came here to build those institutions, to build our institutions. Why will you go in for a private lawyer when you have the opportunity to take a government lawyer whom you will pay his salary only, not a private lawyer whom you will be paying millions of dollars just to execute this 9 NIA cases? Is this 9 NIA cases forced at the fall? Is it the #1 priority of the country? One has to question this, and we need an answer, each Gambians. But these are untold stories that is not told to the Gambian people, and people are not getting this information.
Yeah.
But these are some of the information that are happening here. You look at the commission. How many commission is being established here? Is this actually the real problems of the Gambian people when you go to bed hungry? These are not the problems of the Gambian people. At the end of the day, you are doing this. You are not telling us. Look at the commission. They have been selling some of the materials of the president. Who told us how much is earned from selling of the materials of the president? Do you know? I don't know. You don't know. But you're still selling those people. You sell the cows. You sell the vehicles. You sell the tractors. Do you tell the Gambian people how much was earned through the selling of those things? Nobody tell us. But you still continue, going with this commission. Now it's extended to February 31 and November 31. So this are... Yeah, and the Surata is not here. He went to Makkah. We have to wait for him, or I don't know whether the commission has to come. We have to wait for... Yeah, Surata went to Makkah, and he's before the commission, so which means that it has to be extended again. We have to wait for Surata to come back again. The commission has to continue, which means that it will be extended to another month again. And through the taxpayers' money, that's why we are paying him. So these are issues that one has to think of it, and we have to look into this thing. If it definitely means that definitely we are ready to defend this country. Sometimes I sit in my house at the corner, I cry. Not that I cry because of maybe I feel the pain. Thank God me, I'm okay. But I want the future of my children. I don't want what I suffer my children to suffer this thing. Definitely, we want a better Gambia. 52 years this country is winter. When we have abundant mineral resources that could have give us a tremendous wealth, the country could develop. Just go to Norway. Norway was a fishing nation. With the vast river that we have here in the Gambia, we could have developed. But why we didn't? Because we have bad leaders. We don't have leaders that think of the nation, but they think of themselves. And unless we change this, the country is not moving anywhere. Not that I cry because of maybe I don't have the opportunity. I told these people that if I want to work in this government, I would have work. But that's not my intention. But I want a better future whereby all of us will enjoy. Because only me, if I enjoy, the country didn't enjoy. Still now I have more dependence on my head, and which means that still now I am suffering. So unless we tackle that, we make sure that definitely this country, definitely, everybody enjoy so that dependence will be reduced. But you look at you, maybe 10 people is depending on you. Likewise, somebody else. How can you develop? What do you earn? You don't have nothing. Because 10 people on your head with the small amount that you have, where will you develop? Then we all end up living from hand to mouth. You cannot even have a property that you call this is mine. These are the issues that we have to look at it. This is what is this is what is delaying us. And unless we start to tackle these issues, definitely the country is not. Just look at what is mining in Sanya. Who told us how much is gained from Sanya? Nobody tell us. You don't know, I don't know. And we should know. And these are things that should go to the consolidation fund of the country. Definitely, it should reflect in the national budget. We know that definitely this is what is earned from the mining. But who told you? Who told me? Where is the transparency? Where is the accountability? And those things should go back to the community to benefit us, to promote our general welfare. But actually, is this what is happening? 1/10 correction. So unless we face the reality,
perfectly what you have
unless we forget about
this, the problem in Gambia.
Unless we forget about the partisan issues, we forget about everything. We look at the interests of this country. No political party, if you forget to take the interest of this country, no political party will give you what you want, definitely, unless you put the country before everything. You know that definitely it is a Gambia. First, I am a Gambian, then second, political parties come, and other tribes come, other things come. But apart from that, definitely, we are not going anywhere. And unless we are ready to tackle these issues, definitely the country is not safe. So I think each and every Gambian should now turn to question, the next election to come, how will I vote? Who should I put into this office? And how should I put this person? Why will I put this person? This would be the question we should all ask each other. We have 53 good years. This country still is the same place. We have 130% debts. Like if the whole world is now demanding Gambia has to pay them, we have to pay all what we have and still demand that we go and credit another 30% to come and pay the world because we credit up to more than the money that the country has. Like we have 130% on loan. And when the country's own revenue is only 100%. So which means you need another 30% to pay the loans that you have. So which means if the world demanded today all their money on Gambia, they need it today. That means Gambia has to go and give all what we have and go again and credit another 30% to come and pay the world. Is this called development? Do we call this development?
Yeah, Mr. Kexx, let me slam here. Thank you very much. You have landed something, wisdom. I'm talking about wisdom. And this is our problem, what you are talking about, this information, that is what I am talking about. We have to be in the media. The media is very important today to reach out to Gambian people. And your knowledge, you have a bigger knowledge than me. And I swear to God, there is over 50 youths who are sending me message and saying that they never knew about the things that I'm talking about. They've been misinformed. So we have to be in the media. WhatsApp, what you are talking about, my brother, a lot of people doesn't know about this. So we have to reach out to our people. The Gambian people doesn't know. That's what I'm saying. What is democracy, number one? Democracy, what it is? What was the reason for change? The reason for change was good governance, accountability, transparency. So now if this government is not being transparent, we have to put them in check. We have to expose their corrupt behavior because they are mining. Gambian people doesn't know what they are mining. What is leaving the country, we doesn't know. What is coming in the country, we doesn't know. So what is the purpose of democracy when the president or the government is not accounted to the people? It's not accountable to the people.
You tend to question.
Yeah.
You tend to question, where is it? Because you came here, you said that the system has to be different. What the past regime was doing, you will totally not do what they are doing. But now let's look at it, whether it has changed, because the former government was not open to the people who voted in. But are you open to the people? You have a 57 vehicle here. You didn't tell us where you earn those people. We asked you who is mining our mineral resources. You said you don't know the company. Where is the transfer? Actually, if you need a real transparent and accountability, before even going into that contract, you will call the Gambian people either through the National Assembly or through your state media, inform the people that definitely we want to go into this contract and this is what we want to go on there and this is what we're going to put it and this is where it's going to be. This is what we call transparent. Then the people will know definitely my money is going there and this is the interest that are going to go there. Then definitely you will know that definitely this government is totally different from the government that we inherited. But if you are doing everything in secrecy, you said that the secrecy of office, what does that has to do with the people? So these are the things that we have to know. Definitely, when you are ready for a system change, definitely you should not repeat the mistake of the past. But if you are repeating the mistake of the past, then where is the change?
Absolutely, that is absolutely they are repeating. It's not even if. It's not even if they are repeating it and they are even getting worse. They are getting worse because what is democracy? That's why we have the National Assembly for transparency, checks of balance. We have that. That is why the Constitution, you know, we have to look at the Constitution very carefully, that those individuals that who wrote the Constitution, I think there's a lot of flaws. The government, the president have a lot of power, that power have to be taken. When Gambia, small as Gambia, when we are signing a deal or a contract exporting the mineral resources of Gambia, that should be approved by the National Assembly. That should be approved in the National Assembly. We should have a debate on that if needed to see if it's in the best interest of Gambia. Then the bill should be passed by the National Assembly. So now we know Gambia is in deal with this company. So I think our democracy is just on paper. There is nothing democracy in Gambia right now. This Barrow is a dictator, as I said. Gambian people have to be conscious. Gambian people have to be stop being emotional. Supporting somebody that is doing or engaged in illicit behavior like this, we need to wake up.
Definitely.
We need to wake up.
This is the definitely we have to wake up, and the only thing that we can wake up is the citizens to know that definitely they are the auditors. They are the last auditors of this country. Let nobody fool you. We have auditor general, but the citizens are the last. That's what the language of the Constitution is saying, that there should be nothing that should be done without your interest. It should be through your will, through your. They drive their authority through you, and they don't do it for any other purpose, just to promote your general welfare on behalf of you, on behalf of your name, on behalf of your interest. This is what they say. It has to do it basically on the interest, and we are the last government to actually told them, what are you doing? Is it in our interest or not? We all come with one voice and question the government. What are you doing? Whether it is in our interest. If it is not in our interest, definitely we tell them that we have the right to even the High Court. But the Gambians are not utilizing this. You have the right to even summon the government to the High Court. The Constitution says it's there for you. But have we ever utilized this? No. Now, if we want a new Gambia, we have to now test our power. We know that the power we have as a voters. We now are ready to even summon a government to court when we see that they are doing things that are not of our interest. This is the power that the Constitution gives you, but we are not utilizing it. We are not doing any. The only thing we can do, let's demonstrate. I tell them that demonstration shows your weakness. You have the power to the High Court. Let's go to the High Court. Demonstration is not the solution.
The High Court.
The Constitution
That's
empower
absolutely
you.
what you said.
That will be the time you will know whether the judiciary is independent or not independent. You have to test all those things.
Yeah, that you are right. That is what you come again to informed choice. And informed society, we make an informed choice. Most of us, we're talking about democracy. We have to go back to the Constitution, what the Constitution say, what you can do as a people, as a citizen, what is your power. You have to exercise that to effect change. You have to use it to let the government know that, again, you are not. You are not going to accept anything that will create difficulties for you. Again, that's why my people, Gambian in diaspora, that is what I was saying for many, many years. Gambians in diaspora, we can do a lot of things. What the brother is saying here, many of us, we can come together. Those of us that who want a better Gambia, we can come together and form a strong legal organization. What is to be able to hire private lawyers to take these matters to court, to sue the government. We can do that in diaspora. Everybody, let's come together.
It's true. It's possible. It's the language of the Constitution, not my own opinion, not the opinion of any other person. But that's
Yeah,
what the Constitution is telling you, because it gives the power of a citizen. Because you constitute the leader, you put him there to promote your general. And if he fails to do, and you try all means, it's not possible. That's why they give you another power of the High Court to call them and answer to them. So, but how many years? 53 years. Nobody
absolutely.
have utilized it. That's why we are facing dictatorship and other things, because actually we make them to be who they are, because we don't know the power that we have, and we are not, even we know it, we are not ready to utilize it. And unless we know the power we have and we start to utilize it, definitely the government will take us seriously. They will know that definitely the country has changed. And the people that we have, they know they are right. They know what to do. And any government that will come in will only promote your general welfare, because they know that who are conscious and they know what I should do. If I fail to do that, they will use their power. At the end of the day, I will not be in the office where I am. So actually, any government that comes in
Yeah,
will do what you want, what is of your own interest. This is the only way that can move us forward.
that's right. You made your point. That is absolutely, that is what I said to Gambian people. Niaje tubabdu ibafola tubabdu tata nyato. There's checks and balance. There is checks and balance. Until Mao Soto Gambia. So it is very, very important. Most African countries, you have the government making the decision. The president, in other words, making decision. So the question should be, what is the purpose of National Assembly? In my own opinion, the purpose of National Assembly is to provide checks and balance.
Yes.
What is the checks and balance? What is the meaning of checks and balance? Making sure that the president is doing the right thing.
So you tend to question. That's why when he know that definitely I will not be that president that will actually promote the general welfare of the people. So all what I can do first of place, before going further, let me make sure that I buy my National Assembly members. When I buy them, I will have them in my hand, and anything that I want, that will transpire, because that's what we can explain about the 57 vehicles that we are giving to the National Assembly. Because the National Assembly has the power to create any budget they want. If they want vehicle, they will just pass the bill that definitely they want mobility, and the mobility will be provided for them, because they have the power to approve any budget that is before these people. So they could have even demanded vehicle for themselves. Then why the president is doing it, it's not his responsibility. But he did this so that he will have them in their hand. At the end of the day, you will say that somebody who gave you a lunch to eat, will you say anything against the person? So that's why when it comes, we tell them definitely we have the power to approve this. And this was never spoken about in the National Assembly. We never discussed about this. Where did the president get the money? One tend to ask. Definitely you will have to know, since you are the people who is entrusted with the wealth of this country. You are the people who is entrusted with to defend our rights. If you people now start collecting bribes, which you don't know the source, you don't know where it, you tell them the truth. So this is why whatever, when anything comes in, at the end of the day, you find out that definitely it will just pass, because you can look at the issue of that loan that was approved by so that they can have these AS cables that are running in the country here. Actually, the contract already started. We saw people digging the street when it was never before the National Assembly. That's why when it came before the National Assembly and it was rejected, the minister was, wow, you want to deny your people of this, because they know that they already started using the money, while it was not before the NAM. So if that has to be rejected, what will they explain to the contractors or the partnership that they are? That's why they have to force and impose it to the people. You could have seen the argument there. That's why there was inner fight there, the speaker and Haliva and other stuff. Because why? These are the issues. But they know that definitely they are the majority there. At the end of the day, there will be just too much of talk, but the bill must be passed because they are the majority there. So that's why when Gambian people are going to vote, don't just vote because of this is the biggest political party, but look at who will serve your best interest, who will stand for you, who will at least make sure that check and balance is done, so that definitely your general welfare will be promoted. These are the issues. We should move from this stage whereby you should vote based on, I know this person, we are from the same relative, or we are from the same people, or he's a brother to me, or is he a sister to me. We all has moved. We are in the 24th century. People are no more doing that type of politics. And if you're still doing this politics, then where were you? We tend to question our awareness. We tend to question the education that we claim that we have. Definitely, people are voting now for the people who will promote your general welfare. But how can you vote in for somebody? He live in immense wealth. You still live in poverty and die in poverty. Your grandson's in poverty. Your children's in poverty. And you say that we are developing. Where is the development? So these are the things we have to think of.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, my brother, you are right. You are right. You are right. What you have put down here, we need to have more of this discussion. And I appreciate you coming on board. We need to have more of this discussion. Information is very important. Educating the people, as you have spelled it out. We have to ask ourselves the question, you know, so are you better off? Are you better off? You know somebody that who is struggling. We know that. But why are we in denial of making the right choice? The right choice to look at somebody that who is capable, somebody that who have the ability. I am saying this here, my brother, during the impasse, I did not walk. I did not walk. I leave everything on the side to stay home. I have connection, direct connection to Gambia. I was getting information left and right and say Halifa Sallah Konyari. People were coming to my house just to watch what is going on in Gambia. And a lot of people were saying, wow, Halifa Sallah did a very wonderful job. Halifa Sallah did what he could as a statesman, a diplomat, to keep Gambia intact. Where was the president? Where was Hussein Dabo? Where was Hamad Ba? Where was all of them? Halifa Sallah was in Gambia with no security. No security. No bodyguard. Halifa Sallah was going up and down, up and down. But when it's time for you people to decide the right leader, people will go the other way. So that is what I am trying to understand here. We should not sugarcoat nothing. The problem in Gambia is clan-based politics. Clan-based politics will be Gambia.
That's the fact.
Will be Gambia.
That's the fact. But actually,
so let us address the issue. As you have spelled it out, let us ask the tough question that there's a mining going on in Sanya or wherever. Where is the money going to? The money is supposed to go to the consolidated fund. At the end of the year, how much have we recovered? Who signed the contract?
Nobody.
This president is signing contract without the approval of the National Assembly. And Gambian people are telling me, Gambia Diata. Gambia Diata Nyadi. Molbe Mokola Kafo Batale Bekeri.
We are dying. We are really dying. Whoever is telling you that the person, we am there. I'm facing it like any other person, and I want a better Gambia. But definitely, I cannot be lying to my own people. Definitely, when I know that definitely we are suffering. This country is definitely suffering, and unless people are living from hand to mouth, $1 a day, bro, you look at it. I went and interviewed people that are earning their pension scheme. I found that somebody is coming all the way from Fonyi to come and collect $300. For his pension, $300 all the way from Fonyi, minus the fare from to and fro to Fonyi. To come and collect $300, he has a pension. You say that that country is developed. People are enjoying $300 from all the way from Fonyi.
Wow.
So you find out that that's why now,
and that is
that's why elders are now struggling with the young people, you know, searching for job. No matter even your age is not there, you will leave your wife at the house. You should be sleeping with your wife, but you will even prefer to be a watchman at somebody's shop or any magazine, to be a watchman that leave your family behind and go and sleep in the street under the veranda because you cannot stay at home because nobody will feed your family for you. So that's why you see elders of 65 years still forcing themselves to be employed, whether being a watchman, to sleep on somebody's veranda, leave your family there because there is no source of income, and if you stay at home your family will die in starvation. Do we call that development? After working for 60 years, 70 years, you could have been now enjoying your pension, but you are not enjoying, but still now going into the field. Do you call that development?
It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's a struggle between our elder people and now and the youth. So everybody.
Everybody is struggling now to get at least something because the young people, why too, they are forcing, because you cannot be wait your family to sponsor you from grade 1 up to grade 12. They pay you up to university or any tertiary institute. You still go back to your parents telling them that, Mom, I need to buy a shoes. Mom, I need to buy a dad, I need to buy a bag. You will now take the mantle of leadership now to make sure that you pay back your parents. Actually, you cannot pay them actually, but at least to say them definitely what you have done for me. So they will force themselves to be in the field there, struggle with the work. Why the elders too are struggling to have this opportunity. So at the end of the day, there is always a struggle between the young and the elders.
Yeah, that is what is going on. That is what see that Gambia dingol saying. I thought Gambia dingol fan le blue, katonya fasa, ka sonka for na banko katanyami na. The way the country is going is not going the right direction, and democracy right now is just on paper is meaningless because this president is doing what he wants to do. They are doing illegal stuff. I will say this. I think Gambian people need to wake up and let us look out for each other. This president, next election, let the campaign begin right now. We have to be active. We have to be active. Right now. This government, they have a lot of money. So we are up against a corrupt government in the next election. So what kind of recommendation will you do to say if any Gambian people, Gambians that who are sympathizing and who believe in PDOIs, for example, what can they do? What can they do as citizens to help?
Actually, what I would say to them, PDOIs is not a political party that belongs to a section or another group, but it's a political party that came into being since 1965, and they have all means to be in that position, but PDOIs is not in here to be in a position. They want to be in a position through the will of the Gambian people. That's why when we came into power, we didn't just go and look at the voters so that people would vote for me, but when they came into the politics, they find out that definitely you cannot govern somebody or rule somebody without the person knowing who the person is, what is his right, what is the responsibility of a government, what should the government do for you. So the first thing that they did was to educate the citizens to know actually what belongs to them, what is their right, and what is the responsibility of the government when it comes to ruling. So this is what they did. They are not in haste of power. But now definitely all the Gambian people will agree with me that there's no Gambian who is not convinced now. Through your voters card, you can institute a leader, you can remove a leader. We are all a leader. We are all convinced that through our voters card, definitely we can choose whoever want to be our president, and we can remove anybody who we feel like is not going to be our president. So the decision now is left to the Gambian people to decide what type of leadership do they want. And actually, I can tell them then and assure them that definitely with the leadership of People Democracy Passive Organization and Independent, definitely this is a political party. If you vote for the party, definitely you will know that your welfare will be promoted, and definitely we will live in a government whereby you will definitely know that this is different from the government that we have in the 52 years, definitely, because the government will be a government whereby it will represent the people, the interest of the people. Apart from that, you will never hear, because these people have been saying this, and they are not greedy. These people can be a millionaire if they want, because the knowledge they have, even just by writing books, they can be millionaires because they have the knowledge to write any books. And you have been seen in the world that book writers are the most richest people in this world, because so these are issues. But they all those things as Syria, when he was coming to politics, he was a researcher. In US, he was paid more than the president who was here, Sadado Kairaba. But he has to sacrifice this and come back. Where was he? He was at the curriculum development, at the Ministry of Education, so that he can develop the young Gambians who will take the mantle of leadership. He could have been anywhere. He could have looked for a position, because he was offered to be a minister. He said, no, I want to be a permanent secretary at the curriculum development area. So Khalifa came in. He could have been any position he wanted. But he went where the poorest people are met. That's the social where you meet the poor of poorest, so that you will know the feelings of the Gambian people. You will know that how much they are suffering. So you meet Samsar, who, when all banks were knocking at his door to come and work at all banks institutions, this humble man said, no, I'm going to be a teacher. And you find him teaching physics and chemistry at Gambia High Senior Secondary School. So you look at that, these people are not interested in the wealth to be a president. You look at the life they live, you know that definitely they will not be persons who will come into the power. But they want the Gambian people to enjoy the wealth that the country, God have given us. And they will make sure that they utilize it to promote their general welfare, whereby a Gambian will not go and beg in the street. Because we have the street. You should not be seen a beggar in the street.
But what do you think the future will look like? The next coming election, that what kind of, in my view, I think the next coming election, the GDC, and I don't know, we should have a coalition. Do you think there's a possibility that the next election there will be another coalition between the other political parties like GDC, APRC, or possibly with PDOIs? Do you think that could be a possibility?
No, actually, it's left to the constitution, because our idea is now, there's a new constitution that they are building, and the idea is there, for the system of the election to change, like how we don't want whereby just a single majority will just win the election. You just declare when you don't have the total population of the vote voters didn't choose you. But we want 51%, whereby nobody will be a president in this country without having the majority of the Gambian voters. That is 51 plus. You must have 50 plus percentage of the Gambian people that want you to be a president, but just not win somebody with a single voters card and become a president. And looking at the virtue and the level of the politics here, there is no single political party in this country presently that can pull out 50% of the total vote in this country. And if scenarios happen like that, we either go in a second round. And second round is a procedure whereby the first and the second will go in for the final election. So other political parties will either join the first or the second to form a coalition so that they will have this 51% of the total vote. So automatically forming a coalition is a matter of must if the constitution is changed, because there is no single political party that will not join the order at least to have this 51%, because there is no single political party. Just go to the history and look at the statistics. There is no political party that have 50%. Even Yahya Jammeh, when it is either 46% or 47%, but there is no 50% of total voters in the Gambia. So automatically there is no other political party that can beat his chest and say I have the 50%. So at the end of the day, definitely what will happen? You either come and join the first or at the second. So it's left who will be the first and who will be the second. Then other political parties will either join you or they are nowhere to be seen. So you either join the first so that maybe you'll have a minister position or a director or other things. So you'll find out that other political parties must join each other at least to have this 51% when we go to second round. So the matter of joining a party, that is matter of must if the constitution change. It's not even like a wish.
Well, that's good. Well, that is good. We're looking forward to see that constitution.
Yeah.
And again, keep up the good work. We need to see more people. We encourage Gambian people on the ground, especially in Gambia, to talk more so that, again, we can build an argument and measure if this government is good or not. Thank you, Kexx Sanneh.
Thank you very much. And your platform is your platform is well educated. Definitely, we really appreciate what you are doing and keep up what you are doing. Definitely, you are educating the Gambian. Maybe here the network is not that much good, but we do follow you time to time and we listen. We are learning. And this is the only way that can definitely give us. We must have platform whereby we will discuss the matters of the state, whereby we can learn and definitely take the mantle of leadership. We take the country that knows that it belongs to us. And these are the platform that is actually giving us this. And I thank each and everybody. I'm just somebody who is learning. And every day I'm learning from people. And I want us to continue doing that so that we can save the future of this country. And the future of this country lies in our hands. And we should know that if it fails, we are no more going to blame anybody. We are going to blame ourselves now. We are the failures. No leader is a failure now, because we know that our vote can remove a president and can put in a president. So if any leader come and play with us, let us not blame anybody, but let us blame ourselves, because we failed to put the right person in the office. So now the future of this country lies in our hand. You do it, definitely you save the country. You fail to do it, definitely then the blame go back to the Gambian citizen. And I'm no more ready to blame any president now after Barrow to say that definitely this is the person who failed us. But I will blame ourselves, we the Gambians, that we fail ourselves and we don't want ourselves if we have any bad leader that comes. Because we have to learn from experience, from 32 years or 30 years to 22 years of leadership. Now we are in a transition. We should learn the history. If we are not learning, then what type of human being we are? So I think now the blame game is not finished now. The future of this country lies in our hand, and definitely I thank each and everybody who take your time listening to me. I appreciate you people, and I'm really learning, and I'm learning every day, and it's because of you people. I'm learning from you people. All what I'm saying is either from you or somebody who is watching me. So I'm learning every day and night, and we will learn from each other so that we can save the future of this country. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity. And Alaje, I was busy with Barrow when you asked me where were you. I was busy with Barrow trying to protect him. I asked him the day I was rescuing him from his house, definitely to his brother's house, because he said that place wasn't safe. Thank you.
Yes. That's a good point. That's a good point. And where was you? We know where PDOS was here. PDOS member were in Gambia. So again, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That is a fact. That is a fact, because PDOS. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, thank you very much. I respect you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, man. Thank you. Kexx Sanneh, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Our brother Kexx Sanneh, you can follow us again. In the future, we will make sure that we have plenty of Kexx Sanneh, and he's full of wisdom. And that is why this is a very young man, full of wisdom. And he has articulated it the way even the president, Adama Barrow cannot articulate himself